everybody. Welcome to another edition of Sports Trap. My name is Scott Morgan, Motor City Madmouth. Pleased to be joined by Cody Spink. Welcome back, Cody.
How you doing?
And we got Ed McAndrew. Well, he's been a busy week, man. He's a superstar, this guy in this network. We had him on Inside the Picks In, and we had Sports Exchange. Now we're talking a different kind of football. This one, great stuff.
Let's do it.
And we got Dave Bradley's back in the house.
Good day.
The day is right, okay. And Candy Embley filling in for Mike Santos, who couldn't make it tonight, but Canley actually has a show afterwards, so she's going to kind of do a little research on the fly here with some of the World Cup stuff that we're going to be presenting our way. Let's get to it. Our goal is to be off at about 9:20 Eastern time. I'm sure we could do it with the hay that I have a lot to say. All right, so trending FIFA World Cup 2026 will make $13 billion the biggest sporting event, and FIFA obviously it'll be 47% more than Qatar, and 10K obviously more. And where does the 13 billion come from? TV rights, you're going to get 3.9 billion. Tickets and hospitality, 3 billion. Sponsorships, 2.88 billion. And of course, you're going to have match day revenue as well. The USA is hosting 78 of the 104 matches. That's 75% of the entire World Cup. The quarter, the finals, and the semifinals. And of course, they're obviously going to be hosting the final, obviously, in New Jersey. City by city impact, they're looking at Boston 1.1 billion, Seattle 929 million, New York, New Jersey 800 million, Kansas City 653 million, LA 594 million, Philly 500 million. That's the total USA impact. 6.5 million fans will travel, the most in World Cup history. Previous record 3.6 million. And that record is certain to be broken. Qatar ended up spending $220 billion, and the USA, Mexico, and Canada spending $1.5 billion. But a lot of this is probably because you have a lot of the existing facilities as well. Win the World Cup, you get $50 million. Even though losing in the World Cup stage, you get you $9 billion. But makes the most of it. You have $13 billion. You're going to have 6.5 million fans and 104 matches, 3 countries. What team are you supporting? There you go. That's what you have right there. So those are the numbers and the particulars. And as I said, you also have the global economic impact is 80 billion as well. The numbers are just outrageous. But let's go to you, Cody. They really pretty are outrageous. What are your thoughts about what we have there?
Sorry, can you repeat all that one more time? No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I knew this guy was going to do this to me. Just to get under my seat.
If Mike's not here, I got to take over.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, of course they're going to make record-breaking, revenue when there's also, twice as many games. And it's in the United States, and each ticket costs a minimum of like almost $5,000, it seems like. So, of course they're gonna, break the revenue, but I mean, every game has been entertaining. Like even games where I'm like, it's like, okay, like, was it the Paraguay-Germany game? I thought it was gonna be a shellacking by Germany, and Paraguay came to play, and I was like, all right, this is what I like. So, yes, we did see more teams, and I mean, some of the group stage was probably not as good, but I'm surprised how well the first knockout stage has been so far. I've been very impressed with how well the play has been.
Okay, Eddie.
Yeah, as Cody was saying, as the tournament grows, I wouldn't be surprised to see in another 4 years it grows some more, just like the NCAA tournament is, because it's about money, and you get them in, and maybe you add some to the knockout stage. Especially, I reiterate Cody's point. This round of 32 has all the underdog teams have been. There haven't been any blowouts, with the exception of the Spain game today. I'd say they were all, the underdogs had a chance, but they just couldn't put the top teams away. So, people are getting their money's worth, and I just don't know where people are getting the money to go to these games. If you look at this 10-year-old kid watching the game screaming, and I'm like, wow, yeah, that's love your parents, kid, because they just mortgaged your future on it. But anyway, no, I mean, it's it's ridiculous the amount of money.
Yeah, we all know the money's been outrageous from the beginning of this whole thing. Go ahead, Dave.
Well, income is in numbers, folks. Income is in numbers. And America's got the numbers. They've continued to bring in the numbers, even though they started off great. The reason for that is Canada got through the group stage. The USA got through the group stage. Mexico got through the group stage. And as the guys have been saying, the quality along the way, for me, has been very surprising. I got to be honest with you. When they went to 48 teams, I'm like, no. But I hate to be proved wrong, but I think I was proved wrong. There you go. I admitted it. I admitted that in public.
There you go. Look at that.
All right, Candy.
Yeah, America. The 2026 World Cup in North America is the highest attended tournament in history, surpassing 5 million spectators as it entered the knockout stages. Part of it is they're averaging 64,000 plus per match. I mean, because the stadiums that it's being held in are ones that can hold that. My only question is, what if they held them in some of these college stadiums, like Michigan's Big House that holds 100,000? How much more could it be, the attendance? That it's still the highest single tournament total was the 94 FIFA World Cup, but we're gonna blast
More
past
games, though.
And the most spectators, the highest daily attendance was recorded on June 25th. Now, I don't know. I didn't even look to see what teams played that day, but there was 426,834 spectators recorded on that day. So
what day was it?
June 25th.
Can you imagine, though, if one of these games was played at Michigan Stadium's, a.k.a. the Big House? Oh, my gosh.
Well, I'm just thinking, if you did that and you did it at some of the other big colleges, instead of averaging 64,000, you could be averaging 140,000 more per game in some of the now.
Yeah, but let's face the reality. What they have here, Candy, is the fact that FIFA wants to go ahead and put them in NFL stadiums because of the luxuries boxes where you have more attendance over in college. But it just makes me think about the Big House, because Manchester United actually played a game in Ann Arbor and they packed that place. So we'll leave it there. I want to get up to.
I remember Chelsea and Manchester United like years ago played at the Rose Bowl and it was packed. And the Rose Bowl holds a lot of people. And by the way, June 25th, 6 games: USA, Turkey, Ivory Coast, and Curacao, Ecuador, Germany, and Ecuador actually beat Germany. Japan, Sweden, Tunisia. I hope I'm saying that right. Netherlands. Yeah, thank you. And Paraguay and Australia. So there were 6 games. So that's probably why. And I think there was like 2 games on each time slot.
Okay.
Let's continue on. Cost. We talk about cost all for as long as we've been doing this over 4 or 5 weeks. And no way we're going to avoid it, no matter how hard I try. But the cost to attend the cheapest ticket for Portugal versus Colombia is $3,327. Miami Dolphins season tickets are $810. Go figure. All right, Tony, you're going to be leading it. You'll be first pretty much the whole day. What are your thoughts about the Dolphins at $810 and the cost of this game? I think that's been the telltale story, anyways.
I mean, just like what Ed was saying, how is this 10-year-old affording this stuff? And I'm working, 50, 60 hours a week. And I'm like, I'll just watch it at home. It's okay.
Exactly.
Right.
But at least I'm in air conditioning. I'm comfortable. So I'll happily take that. As much as I would love to go to a game, I would definitely sacrifice the heat to go to a World Cup game. But yeah, I mean, just $3,000 a ticket, and then you said the cheapest was like $610.
No, compared to Miami Dolphins, he's $810. Miami Dolphins, my man, they do. They're not good, but you have the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, that's true. They haven't been a winning team in a while, but still, like it's a top football, still a good football program that they have out there.
Okay.
But I mean, but the thing is, it's different because the Dolphins you see every year. The World Cup is not always in the United States, so and that's
true.
probably why
Exactly.
you're getting this.
The way the numbers don't lie. Dolphin season tickets are $810, $3,327 for one game. Well, we have a banker in here, but I'll say just rob a credit union. Okay, we'll leave it there.
What's
Okay,
the passcode for the safe? Who's the
Yeah,
banker?
exactly.
Who's the banker?
There you go. Never mind.
I'll drive.
Okay, go ahead, Eddie.
No, I mean the Miami Dolphins. You have 8. No, the NFL. You have 8 games that you could go to. That through the football season, you could probably go to the door and pick up a ticket. To Cody's point, this is kind of we might not see it back in the U.S. in maybe my lifetime, or we'll be much older. And it's just it's the whole supply and demand. It's the rarity of it. It's as things are become rarer and are more unique, the price goes high. It's just like supply and demand. And then it's just like everybody's excited about it, and then somebody starts to bid on it, and it just drives it up. I just don't know. I mean, I'm not taking my God bless that 10-year-old that was in this game today, watching it, because I'm not sure I would, even if I had the money, be taking my 10-year-old spending that kind of money on it. But anyway.
Okay, Dave.
What? Can I just ask, what am I commenting on? I don't want to make a fool of myself. I'm not too sure.
You're commenting on the prices between a World Cup match in Miami and then the Miami Dolphins regular football game.
Season.
American
Regular
football.
Season. Yeah,
Season.
the season tickets are usually like you get them cheaper-ish anyways, but
Well, I think somebody said it that the World Cup's only every 4 years, and it's not going to be in America for another 20 or 30 years or whatever the case may be. So, to be fair to the Dolphins, I mean, this is a novelty factor a little bit with the World Cup. So,
Right.
you're talking someone that just wants to go this one time for the experience. Whereas I assume with the Dolphins, as with any major sports team that play on a regular basis, the majority of the fans in the stadium, a high percentage would be diehards who go there all the time, and they'd pay to watch the grass grow, basically.
Candy.
I kind of would equate World Cup to the Olympics. It happens every 4 years. For some of us that maybe aren't as much of a soccer fan, but maybe we're one of the Olympic sports fans and stuff like that. That's where I would, equate it more to. Am I surprised? No. Like everybody said, it's a novelty. You're not going to it all the time. You're going to one game. I mean, for a ticket like that, it does surprise me because we're not talking the finals. We were talking, round of 32. This tickets were over $2,000 at Miami. And you think about that, it's almost equivalent and not quite to like the Super Bowl. Scott, when we were in New Orleans, that we could get tickets for $2,000-$3,000 for the Super Bowl, and that's once a year, not once every 4 years.
Yeah,
but that's a final, and we're talking. This was the round of 32.
Yeah,
Right.
Don't worry, I'll divulge some more insane stats next week. But I'll tell you what, I got a feel-good story that I want to talk about, and a really good one. Because at 11 years old, Lionel Messi was told his family couldn't afford the treatment needed to keep growing. Get this. This is our feel-good story of the night. I really love this one. So here's what you ended up having. You go from La Masia to the Camp Nou. Messi rose through every level, becoming the face of an era. He won league titles, Champions League titles, Copa del Rey. You get all of that, okay? Now at 39 years old, he's competing with the high levels. But to get there, he was fighting a medical condition from a man rewriting football. As we continue the narrative here, he was suffering from a growth hormone deficiency. Without treatment, his dream of becoming a football player could have ended. At 13 years old, he left Argentina and moved to Spain, Barcelona offered to pay for his treatment. There you go. That's why he's such loyalties to Spain. He left his friends, his family, and everything because he knew he could chase his dream. At 17 years old, he made his debut with Barcelona's first team. The world had never seen a player quite like him. Year after year, he broke record after record. He won the Champions League. He won the Ballon d'Or, and he won everything at the club level. But one thing was still missing. And after years of heartbreak, finally won the Copa America with Argentina in 2021. In 2022, he completed his football dream by winning the FIFA World Cup. The same player who once thought his dream might be over is now a world champion. At 39 years old, he arrived at this final in the World Cup in 2026. 20 years after the first World Cup, he was still making history for Argentina. Dream big. He is now the greatest football player of all time. Pretty hard to debate that. So, all right, that's quite a story, Cody, isn't it?
It is quite a story. For the second best player of all time.
Okay.
I don't have my partner in crime here, Santos, with me to back me up with this. I know he would say the same thing because I'm more of a Ronaldo person than a Messi person. Nothing against Messi, but his story is fantastic. I remember hearing about that procedure he had to get, and I tell you, I think Barcelona says that he probably paid back the investment very fast that they did, and a lot more. Yeah, I mean, he's someone that had the right. It always seems like everywhere he goes, he has the right team around him.
Yeah,
not like top superstars, but like people that just helped him perfectly. You had Xavi, Iniesta. I mean, and they just kept picking up players: Neymar, Suarez, David Villa. And you also had, Piqué. You had, oh god, what's the other guy's name? The defender, Puyo. He had such a great team. Always a great like legends around him that made him probably sprouted him and made him so good at Ronaldinho probably for a little bit too. But just him going from Argentina had that that disorder and then coming up with Barcelona, it's a great story. I will say that, and he is one of the greatest players we've ever seen.
Okay, Eddie.
Well, yeah. Well, it's incredible. What's incredible, I think, even more is that Barcelona saw something in him at age 13 and said, "We're going to make the investment into this kid," and it's paid off. I think more than 100-fold. It's really kind of interesting. The first greatest player in the world has a similar story, kind of.
Right.
But I mean, I think it's great. I think he was given an opportunity. He played the hand dealt, and he took full advantage of what he could, and he's now considered one of the greatest players ever to play the game. He's up there with Pele, Diego Maradona, Self, Ronaldo. I mean, he's going to go down in history with those guys.
Dave.
Yeah, and let's not forget he's not finished yet. I thought coming into this World Cup maybe he was finished, but obviously he's proved otherwise. Right now there's a game on which is Portugal versus Croatia, and Ronaldo's
I just put it on.
And Croatia are winning 1-0. So watch out, Ronaldo. He's going to step up because this is what big players do at the big time. They step up and, they put the team on their back. But, for every one of these great stories, and it is a great story, there are thousands and thousands and thousands who didn't make it that no one gets to hear about. And it's not that they were necessarily... Sometimes people make it. It's not because there's a certain amount of luck. Yeah, you've got to have talent, but I'll tell you what it is. I know because I've been in the game. I know the system, and I understand it. I've seen it over and over and over again. First of all, taking no credit away from Messi, he applied himself. He grew himself. I don't mean in
Right,
height. I'm talking
right.
about as a person.
Right.
But at the end of the day, like right now, I was surprised he's doing so well in the World Cup. But what I see now, the number one, the GOAT in the Argentina team is Messi, without doubt. And everybody in that team has put in all personal agenda aside, and they're making him the GOAT. They're doing all his running, they're passing him the ball at the right place at the right time. But along the way, talent is never enough. Talent is never enough. It never was, and it still never will be. You need people on your side along the way that can open some doors. It just takes one person in a particular position that takes a liking to you and says, you know what, come with me. I'm going to take you there. I don't think anybody gets anywhere in this life on their own. It's like, I'm self-made. There's no such thing as being self-made.
Right.
So, and the other thing that I want to point out is you can be in the right place at the wrong time.
Yes.
You can be in the wrong place at the right time. You can be in the right place and the right time with the wrong person. If you're at the right place at the right time in Barcelona with the right person, that's a great recipe for success. But Messi had to do the work and had to grow and change and develop himself. And he did.
Okay. Great points. Okay, Candy.
You know, when he had that hormone deficiency, he began the therapy at age 11. However, his father's health insurance covered only 2 years of the therapy,
Right.
which cost at least 1,000 pesos per month.
That's like what, 50? That's like $50, right?
Right. Yeah. But that
I
would be a
understand.
lot of money. That could be a lot of money depending on the
Yes.
family situation.
Yeah.
Right. And he had to have therapy for quite a while. So that is not a story I was aware of. But
That's why I'm the executive producer, Candy.
I understand that.
Okay.
I understand that. I bet you for his story like that, I bet you there is a bunch of others.
Yeah.
But what a great player. I've seen him play. I've been fortunate to actually see him in photography, actually take pictures of him playing.
Yeah, we saw him a couple of times at dinner in Miami when they were in Fort Lauderdale.
Correct.
Like the player.
He is quite the player.
Okay. All right, let's continue on. This is what will happen if Messi wins his second World Cup. Excuse me. World Cup. A feat that has not been accomplished, by the way, since Pele, Brazil in 1962. He would actually be awarded the rare Super Ballon d'Or, cement his status in the team athlete history. Let's continue on. Okay. We're talking again. I don't know a lot about this Ballon d'Or, but I guess it's a prestigious thing. Argentina and Messi, no one had done 64, win 2 World Cups in a row. The last team to do it was Brazil with Pele in 58 and 62. The Super Ballon d'Or has only been given once to Alfredo Di Stefano in 1989. If Messi wins the 2026 World Cup college football. I want to say college football.
College football. Wow.
Yeah, that's where my head's
He
gonna
does
be.
it all.
That's where my head's going to be in about 10 days. But yeah. Anyways,
Is he kicking from Miami too, or something? That's something I don't know.
France football will have to give it to him and officially name him the player of the century. Oh, they have to bite their tongue there. The GOAT debate will be closed. There will be no more arguments about stats or old memories. Winning back World Cups would make Messi not just the greatest football player ever, but possibly the greatest team sport athlete of all time. 9th Ballon d'Or, the 2026 Ballon d'Or race would be over immediately if a 39-year-old Messi leads Argentina to another World Cup title. He would win his 9th Ballon d'Or. I think I'm getting better with this 9th Ballon d'Or, as they say it a bunch of times.
Ballon d'Or. Ballon d'Or.
I like it my way. A record that no player will ever break. Not the trophy cabinet. Well, he knows he's got 1,000,000 trophies in there. He's only got 48 trophies, more than any other football player. Soccer, okay. Adding a second World Cup would put his total so far ahead of that total. Bottom line is this guy got a lot of trophies, and I'm glad I don't have to say Ballon d'Or anymore because I'm tired.
Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, give me a break. I don't like that.
Yeah,
I really don't.
Or just say FIFA Best Player of the Year. That's just a lot.
Yeah,
No,
just
I
say
can
that-
handle that one.
Yeah, just say FIFA Best Player of the Year or UEFA Best Player of the Year. Man, he was barely offside. Oh my god.
I
he
know.
Oh, sorry, I'm on it.
Yeah.
Oh, and then they hit the crossbar
Yeah.
like 5 minutes before that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's all right. We're all watching it too.
yeah.
So you're good.
But no, if he wins another one, then yeah, he's definitely cemented himself as probably one of the best ever. Like I think he's already up there, but I think this will just give him that one extra step. I don't think he's gonna hit it because I think Ronaldo's. I don't know. I don't think. I would like Portugal and Ronaldo to win one, but I just don't think they have the full roster to do it. This year. It sucks because I would like to run, but I mean we're talking about Messi. But just
Cody, here's the difference. Messi's the GOAT of the Argentina team, and everybody is working around him and doing all the legwork and making him the number one guy. The difference in the Portugal team is they've got other superstars in there, and they're not. It's like, I'm not going to carry Ronaldo's water up and down a stinking field here. Like, what the heck is going on here? But the other guys are wanting to do that for Messi.
Yeah, it's crazy because like you would think like you would want to win as much as he does. I feel like he kind of gives me like a Kobe Bryant vibe. Like he's like I don't care what I have to do, I'm going to win. Because like Kobe, that's all he focused on was like winning. Like he didn't care if he had a bad personality with certain people. If it was like his focus was to win. And I think I know both Messi and Ronaldo have completely different personalities, but I think when it comes to winning, since I don't think Ronaldo's been there, that's like his main goal. But Messi, yeah, I agree with exactly what you're saying, Dave. Like everyone's just pushing for Messi, but Messi, like he's doing it really well by himself as well.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Eddie.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna just to kind of piggyback on what Cody was saying. The the team is kind of carrying him, kind of like almost like a Michael Jordan, where he's kind of the centerpiece, and they're all focused around him. I think to me he's come up through the ranks. I think he's always had a chip on his shoulder because he's always had to prove himself that he's better. Because now I think he's only 5, even with the growth stuff. I think he's only 5'7", and 5'7" in this playing in the striker position is going to be shorter than your average striker. And you got to play with a little bit of an attitude, a little bit of chip on your shoulder, a little bit like everybody's going to be coming at you. And I know, I think he's already. When he retires, when it's over, he will be. If not the best, he will be in that conversation because I think he's already in that conversation of those who are the best.
Hey, Dave.
Let's not forget, Ronaldo is already 3 years older than Messi? Messi might even have another World Cup in him again. I mean, we don't know he's not going to be back again in 4 years. Ronaldo won't be. He's going to be 44. He's going to be done. So, wow, who knows what is going to happen? Goodness me! Is this a penalty going on in the game? Or what?
I think they just get penalty. They got a penalty.
Wasn't that Junior they just showed on TV? I think they just showed his kid, his 16-year-old, his oldest.
Oh, really?
He's looking like he could be a player.
I was reading something. They're talking about they might be putting him up to the first team, on the national team. To play with his dad, possibly be on the next World Cup team, because supposedly he's got a lot of the attributes that dad does.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was a penalty. The guy held him and prevent him from the ball.
Yeah,
but-
yeah, for sure. I mean, and in this day and age, they're going to get it. You know, they're going to give it. It's as simple as that. So here's where Ronaldo makes his money.
Pinaldo.
Yeah.
Are we on
Pressure.
Ronaldo?
Right.
Are we on
Pressure.
Ronaldo or are we talking about
Pressure.
Messi?
Let's go back to. We can go back to
Yeah,
Messi.
we digress.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody out in TV land.
Okay.
But,
That's all
you know, people, you can't write these guys off. They're different animals. This is pressure. He's got the whole country on his back now, and he wants it. And he steps up, and it's in the back of the net, and it's 1-1. That's Ronaldo for you. There you go.
Okay.
Can't deny these people. Anyway, so yeah, but I think Ronaldo's more of an individual more than Messi is. But you know what? There's more than one way of skinning a cat. I mean, you know, it's
Don't say cat. I have one.
I was going to say, that's
I'm
probably
saying a
not,
dog.
that's
I gotta think
probably,
of something better. But
Well,
that's
how
probably
about
not the one to
dogs?
use. Okay. No, we don't
the
skin
thing
it.
was,
No.
my limited vocabulary caught up with me.
He's
Listen,
scale
my youngest
fish.
cat. Listen, my youngest cat, Rusty's on the calendar. My God, he went from stray to famous.
Okay, there's more than
No,
one
he's-
way to
he's
cook.
good.
There's more than
No,
one way
there's
to cook
one
an egg.
way to skin a dog, and I can't. Now I'll have all the dog people laughter. It's okay.
Ah,
So now I
yeah.
got Dave all choked up. This guy turning red. Look at this guy. He can't get all choked up. Limited vocabulary, but no,
Oh.
Candy, you got to put a picture up with Rusty just to get him redder than he is now.
my-
Now that we
I-
have one up.
I went ahead. I got him off his train of thought. Go ahead, Dave. You'll get it back.
Ronaldo just dinked it right down the middle. He didn't blast it. He didn't it
Bold.
didn't go off the post. That takes courage. That is
That's-
courage on ice.
That's balls right there.
That's coolness. You're right.
I hated as a goalkeeper. If you go down the middle, I want to punch you in the face.
For sure. For sure. I think any goalkeeper would say the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what
Right.
you know what goalkeepers are doing now? Because
What?
people go up and they do this stutter thing, the goalkeeper's not moving.
I had a
Right.
trick. What I did, I would force them to go one way. Yes, I would literally force people to try to go the way I wanted them to go. So I'd pretend right before they kick, I would pretend to jump one way, and then so it'd open up the other one, and then just commit. And that's why I was so good at blocking penalties.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I would play mind games with people. I was a dick. Let's just put it that way. When I was
There you
It's
go.
all a mind game.
yeah,
It
it
is all.
is.
Yeah.
It's all a mind game at that level. It's all
Yeah.
a mind game.
Candy, you want to add anything to all this stuff? You're learning a lot about soccer tonight because way different on the country club.
Well,
This is
let
called
me
boot camp.
let me add. Messi is the most decorated player in the history of professional football, having won 46 team trophies. His records include most goals in a calendar year at 91, most goals for a single club 672, most goals in FIFA World Cup, and most assists in international football. Messi has scored over 910 senior career goals and provided over 410 assists for club and country, resulting in over 1,320 goals contributions, the highest total in sports history.
I thought Lewandowski broke Messi's record for most goals in a single calendar year.
That's a good point.
I could have swore he did beat that, but unless he beat it and then Messi beat it right after.
It could be.
Because Lewandowski was on one that one year.
Didn't Lewandowski beat Gerd Muller's record? And Gerd Muller played in the 70s for Bayern Munich and Germany.
Yeah, I
I
believe
think
so.
so.
Yeah,
I think
I think
so.
this was when Lewandowski was with Bayern too.
Yeah.
Man, he's so fun. I like watching him play too.
But now Harry Kane. We're way off here. But anyway,
Yeah, I know.
Harry Kane's doing pretty good.
Don't let me and Dave just take over. Scott, go, please take it.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you want to get
Just
on
go off the
time,
rails with me and Dave.
that's all right. There you go. There's-
There you go. That's how you really change the subject. You put a
There you
nice
go.
cat on there.
There you go.
By the way,
So
that's a picture that got him on the calendar, by the way.
Oh my
I can see that. I can see
Mr.
exactly how
December?
that is.
But
Mr.
you don't want to
December, there you
spin
go.
him. He's a yard cat I always dreamed of. He's my service cat. I'm insane. When I'm putting all this
Yeah.
stuff together, okay, I need him to keep me straight. So he's all right. I get his headbutts and his kisses.
I'm glad someone's trying to keep you straight, Scott, because it's not looking
Yeah.
good otherwise.
No,
Yeah.
well,
Now,
I mean,
right now I can use a
Candy
frozen.
can't do it full time. Okay,
Right
the
now,
cat
I
has
can
to do
do-
part time.
Dave, the way things are going tonight, I could use a frozen margarita, man. I'm ready. All right, Candy, anything you want to say about all this?
No, I
Is that
already
we are-
added. I
All right,
added.
so we are. So we're going to go to Dave's favorite player. Okay, that is Ronaldo. How does that? So here we're going to go. Let's go again. But this time, this should be an easier situation. Will anyone ever break these Ronaldo records? All right, let's go to the scoreboard, as I say, and Ballon d'Or history. I got to say it again.
Player of the year.
Really?
Just say player of the year.
I'm trying to get used to it. You got 18 times nominated for this thing. And you got Messi was 16 times nominated. Maldini's got 13. And then you got Cruyff or Cruyff, whatever, 12 times. Yeah, that's
Cruyff,
close enough.
Johan Cruyff.
And then you got Benzema 12 times. All right, let's
Benzema.
continue to see. We'll try to keep this thing a little simpler here.
That's an underrated guy.
All right, so let's keep it going, Cody. Come on, let's keep me on thought here, okay? And then you can say what you got to say, brother, because it doesn't take much to distract me these days, anyway. I have the attention span of never mind. Okay, but okay, most schools in Real Madrid. You guys are great. You're a very entertaining group, by the way. I'm glad. And my goal is to get Dave Bradley as red as an apple by the end of the show. We're probably well on our way to doing it. Okay, most goals in Real Madrid history. You got 450 and 438 matches. You've got Benzema, 354 goals in 648 matches. You got Raul, 323 and 741 matches. You got Di Stefano, I think it's called, close enough, 306 goals. Thank God I'm not doing play-by-play, otherwise I blow every word here. And then, of course, Santo Lama, 291 goals in 648 matches. All right, let's keep going. The most assists in Champions League history. I can actually get that one right. Yes, Ronaldo at the top with 42 and 183. I'm just going to leave him at the top, and everybody else goes 41, 41, 33, 31. The matches are what they are. The most goals in Champions League history, got 140. And Messi's at 129. He's second. And then the rest go 109, 90, 71. Go figure. Okay, most international goals. Yes, you got Ronaldo right up there again. 145 and 230 matches. Followed by, you guessed it, Mr. Messi, 122 goals in 201 matches. And 108, 95, and 89 are your sequence there. In football history, you got Ronaldo, 975 goals, more than Gordie Howe. Okay, in hockey. I got to get that hockey reference in.
There
of
you
Detroit. Go. Okay. And then you got Messi with 916. And then you have the rest at 805, 768. And Pele is actually at the bottom of this list. That was 757 and 815 matches. World Cup, yep. Got to put Ronaldo up there again. He's got 6 of these bad boys. Okay, and then you got 5 World Cups for Messi, 4 for Pele, close 4 World Cups, and Sealer with 4 World Cups, and that does it for all of that. Okay, Cody, take it over there. Is anybody breaking Ronaldo? He's right at the top of all these things.
I can tell you, when it came to Champions League, man, he was on another level. I believe he helped lead them to 3 or 4 in a row at one point. It was like they were just unstoppable. And I mean, speaking of someone that was, playing right now, Modric really helped with that. And that was, I think, just a great addition for them. Man, their goalkeeper's coming up huge for them right now. He's had just great teams around him too. Like you said, Benzema. I mean, Raul was actually wearing number 7 before Ronaldo got number 7 in Madrid.
Yeah.
So Ronaldo's just been so fun to watch his whole career, especially with Real Madrid and his first stint with Manchester United. It was just, other than Messi, I think there was no one better. during that time. It was just him and Messi, and just what a time to be alive to watch these two guys
Yeah.
be the best
Yeah.
every year, and just seeing them, because yes, they're different, but they both dominated.
Right.
Okay, Eddie.
All right. So, actually answering the question that you asked, will his records ever be broken?
Oh
Which
yeah,
Cody didn't seem to. Cody didn't seem to answer. So I will take. I will take.
No.
I think who was one of the greats said records were meant to be broken. Will they be broken? Probably at some point. The athletes will get faster, stronger, and so on. It could very well be his son. I mean, he's the next. I mean, from some of the stuff I was reading, he's supposedly the next great thing in the program as a 16, 17-year-old on the international scene. So yeah, probably somebody will come along and beat. Nobody thought Lou Gehrig's all-time games played record would ever be beaten. Cal Ripken did that. So yeah, but to emphasize Cody's point, watching these guys play, and then you got this new guy from Erling from Norway, who I think he's just put himself on the map with this World Cup, and I think Norway is going to become a fan. Like, people are going to start being attracted to that organization and that man he's a Viking. He's a real live Viking, but we're not talking about him. I'm done now.
Holland is so great.
Okay, Dave.
I don't know if I mentioned this last week. Maybe I thought about it, but I just thought about it again. Actually, I did mention it last week. The World Cup, from a quality of football point of view, is not as high as the Champions League.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you mentioned that.
So if Ronaldo is the best in the Champions League with all those numbers, then there's an argument that Ronaldo's the best because he's done it in a competition. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I say that, because the World Cup has got players who are playing for their country that they're not even now playing at the highest level for club teams, but those teams these teams, a lot of Americans have asked me questions about the World Cup, and they don't seem to know the difference between a club team and an international team. So, and it's not an easy explanation, but the club team is your Real Madrid. The club team is your Manchester United. And then you've got Argentina and you've got England. Those are country. And to be honest with you, in defense of Americans, you don't have club sports. It's a different system. It's just a whole different system. So why would Americans understand a system that's outside of the USA and vice versa? So, but anyway, oh my gosh, Croatia just scored.
No, it's off.
Oh, it's offside. Okay, all right, good. Rudely interrupting myself. Yeah, the World Cup is great. It's bigger than Champions League for obvious reasons, but it's played every 4 years. The Champions League is played every single year, and all the top players are at all the top club teams at the top of their game. Especially as you get a game, it's no different to the World Cup. Once you get through the early stages of all these other teams that they want to give a chance to compete and being out of the World Cup in the early stages. But let's be honest with you, most of those early games, surprisingly competitive and good, and they were okay. I could still do without them, to be honest with you. Now we're at the business end, and it's a whole different ball game now.
Ronaldo just came out.
Yeah, I did. Saw that.
Anyways,
rest.
So the one record or thing that Ronaldo did that nobody can take away from him, he was the first billionaire footballer.
I think he has the most Instagram or Twitter followers too.
Oh, that's all right. I got news for you. I'll have some of his. I'll have a lot more on Ronaldo next week and in coming weeks. So there you go.
He's a great player, lots of records, and I'm just going to leave it at that because you could list off a
Yeah.
bunch. But
Let me tell you, during my research, I've had a lot of complicated projects and broadcasts, but over the course of our World Cup coverage, I have seen more numbers than I can even digest with. And I'm trying to select the ones that are best to be on a given show. And that's no easy task. That's for sure.
I got one last thing for Ronaldo. And just to show you how different than he is than everyone, they did like a sports science thing on like his skills, like his running, like compared to like a sprinter in the Olympics and his jumping.
Yeah.
I believe it's on YouTube. It is a great watch because it breaks down like the numbers on just how he's able to do the things he does and how he does it differently. So I would highly recommend checking that out.
Okay, there you go. All right, get this. Argentina brought 500 kilos of meat to Kansas City so the squad wouldn't go without a gato at the World Cup. Well, I guess 500
they do know there's a thing
meat.
called Costco, right? In America?
I don't know if they've heard of it, but okay. I mean, I have to read this one again. Brought 500 kilos of meat to Kansas City so the squad won't go without a gato at the World Cup. All right, go ahead, Cody. Mr.
Now,
Costco,
can we put the measurements in American terms? Kilos is how much again? Like
1,100 pounds.
1,100 pounds. That's just like one section at Costco. They usually could just gone to Costco. They're done.
That's a lot. 1,100 pounds.
I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, hopefully they eat all of it. If not, sharing is caring.
Oh, they'll eat it all, but they'll burn it off all when it comes to soccer's conditioning.
They'll burn off it really fast.
You're not going to have Haystacks Calhouns in soccer if you ain't remember the wrestler. Haystacks, they'll burn all. What is it? How many? 1,100 pounds?
1,100 pounds.
Yes. Wow. 1,100 pounds.
All right, go ahead, Eddie. Follow up with that.
It's interesting you said that because they're not the only country. I mean, I've heard that multiple countries have brought their own food because they didn't trust American food with a lot of the preservatives and the chemicals and the stuff we put in our foods. They don't. Going back to the Viking, they brought over a whole bunch of food for the Norway team of fish, meat, salmon, all this other stuff. And I think mostly, so they could have that. But I think also, their diets, to Dave's point earlier, where the way soccer and football is structured with the club is not common. It's not known in America unless you follow it. And I think that's the food. You don't want to when you're in this kind of competition, you don't want to ingest a different type of food into the body, into an elite athlete that is foreign to him. So you need to pack it in, and it's one of those things that you're sitting here, you don't even think about it. But then when you think about it, you're like, yeah, you can't change the diet on somebody who's going to be running for 2 hours, possibly for the next 2 weeks in high competition games. So makes sense to me.
Hey, Dave. A lot of meat, brother.
Yeah, so pre-match meals for players have drastically changed over the years. When I was playing, it was like, have a big steak before the game. And then later on in years, after your career, you realize that you don't fully digest a steak for about 3 days. So you've been running around for 90 minutes carrying all this stuff in your stomach. So, well, look, now the way that these guys are looked after, everything's monitored, everything's weighed, everything. So you can't possibly go out to a tournament like this and go, oh yeah, no problem. Let's go to Taco Bell. That's fine. We'll do that. I mean, yeah, we used to do that back in the day, and sometimes I think there's a lot of overthinking going on as well. But the fact that they brought over their own meat, I get it. Why did they do it? Because they can.
Yeah,
it's fair.
Exactly.
I give them that. I'm not even mad. I understand. If they need a palate cleanse, Taco Bell's great.
Yeah, sure. Not too
Then
sure it's
they
the
just-
palate that gets cleansed, though. It's more than the palate, from what I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just recommend within 20 minutes after eating, be near a bathroom. That's all I say.
Well, that's why they're not eating Taco Bell over the match.
Yeah.
Otherwise, can only imagine that. Oh, that may be TMI, too much information. Okay, whatever. All right, Candy, some thoughts about the Argentina 500 kilos seems one thing, 1,100 pounds is a different animal. Restroom or no restroom.
The coaching and medical staff implemented this to prevent abrupt dietary changes and keep players fueled with their traditional asado. The massive meat shipment includes cuts like ribeye, short ribs, and flank steak. The operation required months of planning and coordination with the U.S. Customs and Border Protection and health inspectors to ensure the meat passed all the entry requirements. This is not a new strategy. They famously brought over 5,700 pounds of beef to Qatar during the 2022 World Cup winning run. So, kind of
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Let's talk about Iran. Oh my gosh, this stuff still amazes me every time I see it. Iran was forced to leave the U.S. after New Zealand draw, and then they followed up with Iran's national team required to exit U.S. after each match, and back to Tijuana. You know, I don't like bringing political things in here at all. And obviously, there's a conflict going on with Iran, but I wouldn't wish this on anybody to have to commute back and forth to these matches to begin with. I really wouldn't. You know, Iran or no Iran, it's just unfortunate. We don't have to drag this one forever, but the New Zealand draw, and then the fact that they have to leave after every match. Cody?
The players didn't do anything.
Right, exactly.
I understand everything. It's not right. The players didn't do everything. I remember there was a big thing going on with the whole Russia-Ukraine thing. Then people were saying like, well, Ovechkin and Kucherov shouldn't be playing. I'm like, yeah, they're Russian, but it doesn't mean, let's do everything that, Russia says, like, yeah, they're Russian, but doesn't mean they agree with everything, and I don't like it. I agree with you, Scott. I wouldn't wish that on them because they're just here to play soccer. They're just here to play the beautiful game, and that's it. And then to be treated like that, and it was not easy for them. And so I guess it sucks. And people were saying they got screwed over in that one game, but people just don't know the rules of soccer. And I know, Dave, you probably know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And people just don't know that, it's not the goalkeeper that keeps you on side. It's the second to last defender.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I knew right away. I was like, oh, he's off.
Yeah.
But anyways, like it sucks what they're going through. Like I said, the players are just here to represent their country and play the beautiful game of soccer. They should not be treated like that.
Yeah,
they're definitely at an unfair advantage.
Yeah, that's Eddie.
Yeah, Cody nailed it on the head. It's sports should transcend any kind of political type stuff. They're not, this is not about their whether they believe in whatever side. They were here to play football, compete in the World Cup. They should have been given ample opportunities fairly. To not have to commute back and forth to, compete in these games because it puts them at a disadvantage. I mean, that's more travel than most other clubs. So, unfortunately, it's an unfortunate situation.
Dave.
Okay. So, first of all, when you're an athlete, you're taught to be resilient to all sorts of conditions and circumstances.
Right.
Then you get at the higher levels and you become a little bit more precious and you expect a few more things and all the 5-star treatment and whatever it is that goes on. You kind of lose yourself a little bit with all that kind of treatment, and all of a sudden you're going to go to the World Cup. First of all, I'm I was probably a little bit surprised that they were allowed to even come in for the World Cup, to be honest with you, in the first place.
Yeah. No,
I
true.
But nevertheless, they came in. Once we allowed them to come in, then it's either they don't come in, or if you come in, you get treated equally like everybody else.
Right.
So, but all this thing about the travel and the this and the that, and okay, I get that. Let me give you a scenario. Yesterday, England won their round of 32 game and immediately found out their next game is in Mexico in 4 days' time.
Okay.
Mexico is definitely not close to where England were playing 4 days ago. They've got to leave. So the question is, Mexico is at altitude. And having played soccer myself in Johannesburg
Mm-hmm.
in altitude, both as a visiting team and living in Johannesburg playing for a team, the difference between being acclimatized to altitude and not being acclimatized is night and day. So there's a couple of different things to think about now. If I know this is not about Iran, but I'm just saying, I don't think Iran were treated that badly when it comes to the whole travel thing, because now these teams are now. I looked at the schedule now for any team that's gone through the round of 32. They've almost got a game every 4 days, right to the final.
Right.
You can't prepare for a game for 4 days. You definitely can't prepare for a game after 4 days at altitude and then be somewhere else 4 days later. Different hotels, different beds, different fruit. So it's total chaos. But anyway, at the end of the day, it is what it is, and I think they could have got. And Portugal have just scored, and they're going to be into the next round.
Yep.
So I think that either don't let them in because there's a war, or let them in and then treat them like everybody else, and then okay, now you got beat, now you can go home. They were never going to last that long anyway.
Okay.
Well, hey, Dave, your England team just survived. They had to come back to win.
They
I was supposed to give you a ribbing at the beginning of the show about that, but I was like, they underestimated what they were up against.
Yeah.
So I just like Dave's approach. They weren't supposed to go very far. That'll take care of the travel thing. And let's say, wait. If that isn't the most modest approach about Iran travel. If you're not supposed to go very far, you'll be out of here. You don't have to worry about the travel.
You won't have to worry about it. Yeah.
After this and that, like, you're not going to be here anyways.
If you're off by TKO, don't worry about the TRAVEL. Let me tell you the most insane travel story I've ever heard. You ready for this? I know you're not a National Football League guy, Dave, but don't worry. Once upon a time, a guy named Rod Marinelli, good riddance, by the way. Don't forget about him. Candy. This guy here takes over the job. He's a military guy. And you know what happens? I'm going to get the Detroit Lions to play a preseason game, and we're going to commute the trip to Oakland, California from Detroit. These guys had to go to their hotel just to go to a hotel just to go ahead and read over the material. And then they had to fly back. Try commuting from Detroit to Oakland in 1 day without staying in a hotel. That's room for complaint. Of course, it's safe to say his military style didn't work. He was gone after 2 or 3 years anyway. And he led the team to an 0-16 record. Don't worry about it. Iran, just follow the advice of Dave Bradley.
Yeah,
You're not going to be very long.
Just go
home early.
Just go home.
You're going home early. You don't worry about the travel. All right, Candy, trying to make some sense. Put a button on this. Then we're going to go back to food. I like this MDE. All right, 2-1. And stoppage time. Thanks for the show, everyone. Love it. We enjoy having you here. MDE as well.
Obviously there was a conflict before even World Cup. Were they going to come? Were we going to allow them to come? We did. But hey, we're not losing or crying that they left already. In fact, some people are doing happy dances, but it's hard because there is conflict in the internationally. And do they feel that they were well received here? No. They feel they did. I don't know if you heard this, but they did the team left a handwritten note addressed to the people of Mexico that read, "You showed us that hosting a FIFA World Cup is about far more than stadiums and tickets. True hosting is about respect, humanity, and dignity. We will never forget the kindness of the people of Tijuana. From this day forward, Mexico will always be more than a host nation to us. It will be our second home and our second team. We leave this World Cup with pride, but also with one fundamental question. Did every team truly compete under equal conditions and equal professional standards? What we experienced was a series of decisions, logistical arrangements, and circumstances that undermined the sense of fairness, an impression only reinforced by the events of the final match day of our group."
Okay. All right, let's continue on. Let's go back to food. I enjoy that topic because Norway certainly got into the act too, because they brought 300 kilograms of fish and oranges and a personal chef to the United States. I don't know about the kilograms, Candy. Since your last, you can figure out that stuff. But you got 300 kilograms of fish and oranges and a personal chef to the U.S. Rapid fire, Cody. We got a few topics we want to get to, but what are your thoughts about Norway bringing the fish and the oranges?
I mean, whatever they're doing, keep doing it because they're looking good. I'll keep it short and sweet like that.
Okay, go ahead, Eddie.
They got to feed the big center Viking they have, Erling.
Funny. Oh, it's really good. Okay, Dave, you got any more one-liners? I'm ready, man.
What's this about? I'm sorry.
Go
What's
ahead,
this about?
Cody.
Norway bringing their own fish and their own personal chef for the team.
No problem with that whatsoever. That's just the way of the world these days. I mean, not most of these guys have all got their own chefs anyway, to be honest with you. So, they don't want to take a chance.
Right.
Candy.
The Norwegian national team shipped, like you said, Scott, 580 kilograms, which is roughly 1,300 pounds of food to the United States for the World Cup. This included 300 kilograms of salmon and trout, 100 kilograms of halibut, 100 kilograms of Jarlsberg cheese, and 80 kilograms of brown cheese. The delegation also brought their own chefs. While some online rumors suggested this was done because the team distrusted American food, nutrition experts and the team's head chef clarified that this is a standard high-performance practice. Elite athletes bring familiar ingredients and chefs to maintain dietary consistency and prevent disruptions to their nutrition routine while thousands of miles from home. I can understand that.
Yeah.
There are times if you're traveling and you're on the road, you won't go to certain restaurants, certain places that because it might upset your stomach. Same with these athletes. I mean, these athletes are in prime condition and they've got to stay that way. And you hear of a lot of athletes, whether it be NFL, MLB, NBA, that have their routines. If they're playing a Sunday night game for football, Sunday night game, what are they eating before? And they all have their superstitions and stuff like that. So I don't begrudge them. I think it's very smart for them to bring their own food.
Well, I see there's two countries doing the same thing.
I'm not even offended.
More power to them. Well, hey, listen, I got news for you. I like salmon and trout. I'm a seafood guy itself. All right, we're going on to USA rosters by age size. Let me go over with them. In 2026, US 26.4 years. In 2022, 25.5 years. 2014, they had 27.8 years. 2010, 27.3 years. 28.7 in 2006. And 2002, 28.6. So they're getting a little bit younger, Cody.
What was the average age of this year?
26.4.
26. Wow. So they're younger, but a lot of the guys, their main guys were in the last World Cup, or at least I don't know. Did USA even make the last World Cup? I can't remember at the top of my head now, but
Don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think they were in Qatar.
Yeah, but still, like you have a lot of the same players just from those 4 years ago, and yeah, they're still young, but they have so much experience, and you can tell this team is, they're young, but they look good together. Like they look very experienced for a very young team. I'm very proud the way USA have played, and I think this is really the first time I'm happy with how they are playing. And I'm not happy about one of the moments from yesterday. I think we all know what happened, or why I'm not happy. But I mean, Pulisic's looking good. I mean, their defense. They were saying their defense was shaky going into the World Cup, and now they've been very strong back there with Tim Ream and Richardson. They look fantastic, and they're letting their left wing back or their wing backs literally just carry the wings, and I love watching them play.
So, all right, what are your thoughts there about the age?
I think they're probably at a good age. They probably have experience playing. I think part of the thing is to what Cody was saying is you have the experience of playing together, from the not from the teams that were the team that did not qualify, and then they look like a team that belongs there. Compared to some of the other teams that we've put in the World Cup, this team looks like it belongs there.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Dave?
Portugal 2, Croatia 2.
Wait.
Live. But wait,
no, he's
there's
off.
More.
He's off. He's off.
He's off. No.
Oh wait,
Whoa.
no, it went off the Portugal guy, so maybe he's not off.
Oh, the guy. Well, there's one guy. Oh, he's way off. Did he touch it? If he touched it,
No, it went off the. You'll see on the next one. Sorry, this is crazy. What's going on?
Came off. He's offside. It came off the guy's knee. He was way offside.
Okay.
From what I can see from here. Okay, what we're talking about?
The USA ages
yeah.
over the years in the World Cups.
So the average age of 26. It might sound a little bit young to you and I. It's not that young now. It's in athlete terms now. Gee, you really should be growing up and being mature now. You can't turn around and go, well, they're a young team. Well, okay, when are they not a young team? So they might have one or two youngsters, yeah, and you might have one or two slightly older ones. You need the experience, but for the most part, an average age of 26, I reckon is pretty good.
Okay. Candy?
If you think about a lot of the different sports, average age, especially for a sport that is as physical and demanding as soccer is, because you're constantly running. I can understand the average age being younger. You might not injure yourself as much as you do as you age, because your muscles are, they might be in tune. But let's face it, in baseball, with the specialization of baseball, you have more and more Tommy John surgeries. The same could be like said of soccer. The more and more you play, the older you get, the more likely you are to injure yourself or be out for different injuries as well.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, well, you know what Cody brought up, Tim Ream, let's go ahead and segue to it, because he becomes the oldest player to appear in a World Cup match for the United States men's national team. That was he, like 38, I think it is.
And he's playing like he's like 30.
Yeah.
He's playing Tim Ream is playing so good right now. He is controlling the back, and I believe he's the captain of USA too, if I remember right.
Right, yeah.
But
I think I believe he's 38, if my memory serves me correctly. Is that correct?
I believe so. And I believe he's the
38.
only main starting player that's only playing in the MLS right now.
Right.
Which is very rare for United States to have one guy in your starting lineup play for the MLS, because in years past you've had majority, it was 7, 8, 9 guys that were playing at MLS, and maybe one or two guys playing overseas. But now it's majority of these guys are playing overseas, so that's probably why we're seeing America getting better because now our top guys are playing in Europe where better soccer is.
Yeah, so I'm going over my records. He is 38. Go ahead. Ed,
No,
38
you
for
know,
this game.
30. No, 30, no, I mean, if Ronaldo's still playing at 41, 38's not that much.
Right.
Is not old really. And to Dave's point that he just made in the last segment, you're going to have some of those old. There's your older guy for the team, and that's where your leadership and maturity comes in to hold everything together. And like I said, this team looks different than years past, and it'll be interesting to see how they do up against Belgium.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you one thing, though. You have a guy like Tim Ream in that Belgium, that's where his experience should definitely should come into play, right, Dave?
It's just finding the balance. It's just finding a balance between the maturity. You've got to have some experience in the team. You have to have some experience. You can't be a bunch of 20 early somethings and for example, go to Mexico. Can you imagine USA going to Mexico into the Azteca, 80,000 people, 8:00 at night? I mean, it's volatile, absolutely volatile, and the Mexicans hate the USA. And I don't know that it's the same the other way around, but it's a soccer hatred. It's not. I don't think it's like a person, a nation hatred. It's just that soccer's just a little bit like that. It's very tribal. Let's put it that way. But no, I think the USA have got it right. To be honest with you, where are they going to win the World Cup? No, they're not going to win the World Cup. We don't know who's going to win the World Cup, but it won't be America. But that's okay. If they get through the next round, and there's no reason why they shouldn't, because Belgium are not what they were. They're on the other side. They're an older generation of a team. The golden era that didn't turn into real gold. They've got a lot of they've got a lot of guys that are aging now, and they've got Lukaku up front, and they got De Bruyne. These are all guys where
Courtois.
they're old and the legs have gone. They're not playing at the top level in the European leagues, but they're still big players in their own team. But no, I think the USA, especially on home soil in Seattle, given a little bit of rub of the green and a run of the ball, can definitely beat Belgium. And I think they're equipped to do that with the average age that they've got.
Okay, Candy.
Yeah, I mean, Tim, he's a soccer player who's played as a center back or a left back for Major League Soccer club, Charlotte FC, and captains the United States national team. He is 38. He was born in St. Louis, Missouri. He played college for the St. Louis Billikens. If I'm saying that right, I don't know. He married his childhood sweetheart, Christian Sapenza, who is also a soccer player. Again, I don't know if I said that name right either. 24 hours after getting married, they postponed his honeymoon plan in Tahiti to undergo a move to Bolton Wanderers. He later stated in an interview that he still made the right choice in postponing his honeymoon, but he has all kinds of honors. And kudos to him and kudos to the United States because they haven't had the success that they're having in a World Cup that they are having this year. So let's keep it going.
We've got approximately 3 more topics I want to get to. I'll give everybody an opportunity to comment on obviously the controversial game, and then we'll get it over to Fire Up. So any surprise that Argentina remained the only team at the World Cup that has sold out all their group stage match tickets? We don't have to go long on this. Rapid fire, yes or no, and with an explanation.
Nope.
I will lead off with you, Cody. Go ahead.
I'm not shocked. I mean, Messi's selling out stadiums with Miami FC with Inter Miami. So I don't. Right. He's gonna easily do it with international. It's a World Cup. People are wanting to see him go back to back. So I'm not shocked.
Okay, what about you, Eddie?
Not at all.
Ed, okay, Dave.
It shocked me a little bit that they've got the crowds that we've got, because the initial price of the tickets, I don't think we really knew what was going to happen, but it was very clear very early on that all these stadiums were going to be filled. Thankfully so, because there's nothing worse than playing in a large stadium that is half empty.
Candy.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a surprise at all. Everybody wants to see him play and see this, go see something that doesn't happen very often, especially in the United States.
Okay, well, here's an interesting stat. We don't have to get into it too detailed, but the host opening match record all-time FIFA World Cups is 16-1-6, and of course that doesn't include this year. So in 2026, that's a pretty interesting number, isn't it? The opening match record, Cody, 16-1-6.
16-1-6. Who has that opening record?
Well, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to send it to you, and you can see if you can dissect this a little better than I am. Give me 1 second, and I'll put it in front of you, because you always do. I mean, you always do anyways. This is one that I'm trying to see. My problem is I don't know half of these flags, is what I don't know. So for me to sit here and tell you what these things are, I haven't traveled to that many countries.
Okay, so the host opening match record. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Break it
the
down.
host country. The host country.
Yeah. So you had Uruguay won. I said the only one that lost ever is Qatar in 2022. Everyone else is either won and drawn.
Okay.
That's so it's 16-1-6. So it's not like hockey. It's 16
Okay.
wins, 1 loss, 6 draws. So a little different. But yeah, I mean it's great. I don't know the second host. France in 38 won, Brazil in 51, Swiss in 54 won, Sweden won in 58, Chile won in 62, England and Mexico in 66 and 70. They tied theirs. Germany won in 74, Argentina won in 78, Spain drew in 82, Mexico in 86 won. That is Italy won in 90, USA drew in their opening match in 94, France won in 98, Korea won in 02, and so did Japan. I guess they like double host, I guess. Let's see. And then Germany won in 06. South Africa drew their first game, and that was one of the best goals I've ever seen in a World Cup match. And that one, that Tashabalala, whatever his name is, that was just a beautiful goal. I don't know how to say his name, but Dave, I'm pretty sure I don't know if you remember that goal or not.
What? Who is it? What is it?
The South Africa Mexico opening match in 2010. Oh, it was like Tashabalala, whatever his name is. Beautiful goal.
They've all got names like that over there. I played in South Africa for a year.
Yeah.
I could never pronounce any names.
I don't even know if I'm even saying it right, to be honest. And then Brazil in 14, they won. Russia won in 18. Qatar's the only one that lost. And I believe every team, I think Canada won, USA won, and Mexico won, I believe, in their opening matches.
Yeah, so there you go. That should probably bring that number up to what? 19-1-6, would you say? Is that what it is now?
Yeah, 19-1-6.
There you go. I can
The
get
only
that.
one I don't know is Canada.
I don't know. We'll just say 19-1-6. That's the only math you're going to get out of me. Thanks for leading that segment. Anybody else want to add to that?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Nope. Sounds good.
All right. So the average get-in prices by World Cup history: host city. Oh, this is just a group stage. Mexico City at 2,096, Miami $1,405, Guadalajara $1,267, New York $1,040, Dallas $984. Philadelphia $703, Toronto $693, Boston $677, Houston $660, and LA at $598. Cody, some thoughts about the average get-in prices?
Crazy. And by the way, it's 18-2-6. Canada tied their opening match. But those ticket prices are just crazy. I don't know what else to say. I just can't believe how if you want to grow the game, make it easier for real soccer fans to want to attend these games.
Okay. Anything you want to add to that, Eddie?
And I'm just going to reiterate what Cody said, because I think it's a great point. is that the way you grow the game, and he said it in our other episodes we've done. The pricing's insane, and the only way you really grow the sport is you make it you make it affordable for those who support the sport, and don't just. There are people that are going just for the sake of saying that they went. They're not necessarily
Yeah.
football fans. It's for the experience, if you will. And that's not how the sport's going to grow. Sport's going to grow with the people that are watching shows like us guys talking stuff, people who go, kids who play, and stuff like that.
Okay. Dave?
It's just all come back down to money again. I mean, back in the day, a few years ago, everybody that went along, you walked to the game with your dad in the rain like I did, and somehow he found he found the money from somewhere. It wasn't an all-cedar stadium in those days. A lot of it, you were in what they call the paddock, and you would be standing up. So you walk all the way to get to the game, wherever you can find a parking space. Then you got to stand up all the way through the game. Then you got to walk home. You're basically on your legs for about three hours or whatever the case may be. And then all of a sudden, something changed, and there was a guy that played for Manchester United, maybe 20 years or more ago, when they were kind of right at the top, right in their pomp, and they were winning everything. The guy's name was Roy Keane, and he talked about the cucumber sandwich brigade, because it went corporate and you can get more money out of those people. And now you notice that all these stadiums, they've got all these corporate boxes all the way around.
Right.
And all these companies that, that's cucumber sandwich brigade. And Roy Keane's point was, they don't sing and don't make noise. They're not that excited about being there. They're doing business with people. And they're standing there, with a little finger out, drinking a drink, whatever they're doing in the corporate boxes. And that's but it's that the dollar took over, basically. The dollar took over, and here we go. Here we are.
Hey, Candy?
It doesn't surprise me, especially this time of year. It's a lot of different places here in the United States, even though I think it's kind of ironic that we've been having the heat wave that we've been having, because a lot of places have had a lot record-setting heat, and I think some of the teams weren't expecting quite the heat in some of the areas. But it just shows that people still want to watch something that only comes once in every couple, not even, I mean, it's once every 4 years, but not once every 4 years here in United States. So,
Well, the last time they had the World Cup was in 1994. All right, I'm going to go rapid fire on this. Just basically a mention. Was everybody surprised that U.S. lost 3-2 to Turkey? Do you think they they underestimated Turkey at all? Real quickly, Cody.
They didn't play all their players. I'm not gonna worry about that game. I mean, look what they just did yesterday. They're a different team. So
Right.
I wasn't worried about the 3-2 loss to Turkey.
So what about you, Ed?
I was actually really irritated because I thought that goal that they let in was a letdown in focus on that, and I was very irritated because I think that was an extra time, if I recall. And
Yeah,
I thought they should have beaten them better. Go because they would have gone undefeated in that group stage. I think it would have really sent a better message, and it made me concerned going into the knockout round, to be quite honest. But to Cody's point, they proved that they could bounce back, and even with a man down for most of the second half, they showed that they were a resilient team. So they regained my trust a little bit.
Okay. What about you, Dave?
I think we all know winning is a habit, so they rolled the dice on that one a little bit. They didn't maintain, what could have been a 100% record, but as it turned out, it didn't matter. They were going through. They made a judgment call. They got away with it. They've won the next game. They've gone through. Everyone's forgotten about it.
Candy?
Turkey was already eliminated.
Yeah.
So what did they have? They could play the spoiler, or try and play a spoiler. And let's face it, they did. They United States was on a hot streak, winning more than what they've won before recently, and they didn't play all their players, so I get it. But at least it wasn't a single elimination at that point, so they
Right.
they got to move on, and that's what was important.
Okay, and lastly, let's go to the knockout stage game. Obviously, U.S. won the knockout game 2-1, finished the match with 10 players. And I know it's been controversial and talked about 9 million times, and this guy suspended against Belgium. Cody, some quick thoughts about that, the way it ended.
You want the adult version, or you want me to be more professional?
I don't know.
I want to talk. It was. No, I don't think that was the right call for the red card. It wasn't malicious. They were saying it was, a safety thing. I've seen worse tackles, worse plays that was considered a player safety hazard than that one was.
Okay.
The guy didn't even know he was there when he went for the ball, and it was just a weird play. Like, it wasn't malicious at all. I think it was just a yellow card, and that was it. And I think they should have left it like that. But it's done. It's over. We're not going to have our number one striker against Belgium unless they appeal. But from what I heard is, since it went to VAR, it's going to be so much harder for them to rescind the red card, and it actually could make matters worse, because now if they review it, it can actually lead to more games of a suspension. So I think they probably best if they just leave it be and go with their number 2 striker now.
Okay. All right. Eddie?
Read a story about this referee that he has been known for excessive red, or what they're calling excessive red cards. I'm with Cody. I don't think that foul was warranted a red card personally, but they don't pay me to referee. I think they showed. I think the USA showed a heck of a lot of resilience. That came early in the second half, and they still held on to win 2-0. So I think, yeah, they're down a man, one of their best players, but I think they're showing that they're a tight group and they're resilient in, that kind of adversity. So I know it's behind, as Cody said, it's behind us. We move forward.
Dave?
Wasn't a red card. Ridiculous. I think it just goes to show you that every once in a while, the fact that somebody has got the position of being a referee and they're given some power that they're not able to cope with, and they don't have it on a normal daily basis, and all of a sudden they get put in a stadium, they wear a black shirt and a black pair of soccer boots, and they give them a whistle and it goes to the head. They've never played the game. Anyone that's played any kind of a sport, especially playing soccer at a good level, would know that was not intentional, and they just don't know how to look at a situation. If you've played the game, you could look at that. You would know whether he meant that or whether he didn't, and whether that was a foul and worthy of a red card. Even if it was a foul, it wasn't worthy of a red card. It wasn't even worthy of a yellow card, let alone a red card. So no, it's ridiculous. I'm afraid they got that one completely wrong. So, and I hope they do. I hope they do overturn it. To be honest with you,
Candy?
They have said that the U.S. can't appeal the 1-game ban, which is unfortunate because I don't think it was the right call, and I think sometimes when you are in the moment, it's harder for them to be able to make the call. They're also in the moment of in the stadium, hearing everything around them. I think, if you look at like the NFL and they do, they will go back, or even like the USFL or the league that we just finished, and they'll go back to a command center, and there's some Mike Pierre or whoever is in the command center watching it, and decides and talks you through it and tells you why he's ruling the way he is. It's too bad that they don't do that in soccer too, because I think sometimes people make calls or don't make calls based on emotion as well.
The only thing I'll say about this is this. Okay, number one, whoever that striker is going to place this guy as an opportunity. He has a big game. He'll be remembered for a long time, and you'll hopefully be able to. It's like they say, in all team sports, you need to see who steps up. Wherever the guy that's taken, the guy who was suspended or taken out for the one game has a chance to make history for all the right reasons. And
Yes, he
that's
does.
that's who the focus will be on. Obviously, Monday night is when they play it. I believe it's Monday. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, Monday in Seattle.
so-
I believe it's
so-
Tim Weah is the backup, is the next
It's
guy
who?
up. Tim Weah.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. We'll keep tabs on it. Well, great show to hear today. So with that said, Katie, give everybody a preview of Fire Up. Give us a station break. We'll get it out of here.
So on Fire Up, right after this, we are going to be talking about NBA trades and free agency because that's been kind of crazy the last couple of days. We are also going to talk about the World Cup a little bit. We are going to also talk NFL greatest linebackers of all time. And then we always have a segment on Fire Up. It's called My Town, and that's where people talk about what's happening in their town. I'm looking forward to it. Hope you all can either stay if you're watching or hop onto the YouTube channel and watch it live for us there. As far as station break, South Florida Tribune Publishing Company published a book, Lessons from the Microphone, Tuning in the Enduring Wisdom of Visionary Leaders. It is written by our host, Scott, the Motor City Madmouth Morganroth, talks about his 40-plus years in the business. In fact, it started down in South Florida with the Fort Lauderdale Strikers, right, Scott, which is a soccer team too.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yep.
So get the copy of the book, read all of his stories. It's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kindle, Google, and Apple Books. The audiobook is also out. There's a link on our website, www.southfloridatribune.com, where there's a plethora of great content, so go check it out. If you like to listen to podcasts, you can find us wherever you get your podcasts. If you want to advertise or be a sponsor on the show, you can always email us at southfloridatribune@gmail.com. If you see the red subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, that means you have not yet subscribed to the South Florida Tribune's YouTube channel. QR code right now is for the South Florida Tribune's YouTube channel. But I'm not done because we created a new YouTube channel, and it is called Destination Discoveries Media Network. It's a travel channel, basically. We go to a destination and you get to see what we discover at that destination. We have lots of videos up, more to come. We have videos from Key West, Portugal, Spain up. We're going to be putting up more, some from France, the Berlin Wall, Amsterdam, London, Iceland, Netherlands. Make sure you're subscribed to that channel and turn on your notifications so you're notified every time we go live or every time we post a new video. Back to you, Scott.
Hey, Candy will be doing her first show Monday around 7:10 Eastern Time, along with Rob Maraska. Go ahead, feel free to, if you're not a subscriber. So Candy will using the Fire Up approach. That said, let's go around the horn real quickly. Okay, Dave, please let everybody know how they get a hold of you.
Dave Bradley Lifestyle. Go to ChatGPT. That's probably a good thing to find out any more information. But Instagram's always good for me on Dave Bradley Lifestyle.
Okay, very good. Okay, Ed.
You can catch me here on Tuesdays Inside the Pigskin, and then on Thursdays here on Sports Wrapping. Who knows where Scott's going to have me next week, filling in. Also, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and all that good stuff. So catch me there.
Yeah, Eddie's become my right-hand man. I'm telling you, this guy's unbelievable. Wherever I go, he goes. He follows me everywhere. God, I'm proud of this guy. You want to talk about my biggest finds all year? He is it. Wherever I go, it's Eddie. Okay, go ahead, Cody.
Oh, yeah, you can find my dad and I. I'll speak of the devil. Every Saturday, we go live at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We talk all things Ducks and Kings. We're going to talk about the draft picks that the Ducks and Kings made over the last last weekend. So, and I'm the host of Ducks Digest, where it's a daily duck show I do every day. And I said I just hit over 1,000 subscribers a couple weeks ago. So, yeah, and I'm happy. The channel's thriving. So, and yeah, he's the good one. Sure.
Yeah, he's a good.
As one of our buddies says, he's the ancient one.
Oh,
There you go.
okay.
Love you, Dad.
There you go. I'm glad. All right, congratulations, Cody.
Thank
Hitting
you.
that 1,000 mark. So meanwhile, with that said, that does it for this edition of Sports Wrap. We'll have more next week. Now, in 2 weeks, we will not have a show. Candy and I will be in Charlotte. We have an ACC media event that we're going to be out of town covering. So I'm looking forward to having a special guest. Stay tuned to find out who it is here on Sports Wrap. So on behalf of Cody Spink, Ed McAndrew, Dave Bradley, and Kate Emily, excuse me, my name is Scott Morganroth, Motor City Manmouth. Thank you for joining us on this edition of Sports Wrap. Fire Up is next with Candy and the Country Club. Good night, everybody.